I had a chat with the Minister of Interior, retired Lieutenant General Abdulrahman Dambazau. You're welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you very much.
You just completed a tour of the territories that have been recovered from the Boko Haram sect. Can you tell us what the major observations during that tour was?
Well, the three states we went to, that is starting with Borno, Maiduguri was very calm. People were going about their normal businesses. We also met the governor, who is very much confident of the situation in Maiduguri. We also visited some of the IDP camps. The state government in Borno has done quite a lot in those camps, besides the efforts of other agencies. There are quite a lot of efforts being made, but I think we need to do more, particularly as regards to the IDP camps. But it's just going to be temporary because of the efforts we are now on to see how much we can do to, resettle them back into those areas they were displaced from. So generally, even our visit to Damaturu and subsequently to Yola showed, the same thing, the kind of efforts, and people are, getting back to their normal lives. So the general observation is that the general atmosphere shows that people are getting back that confidence in terms of public safety and security. But as you know, that one of the reasons why, the major reasons why we went there is to see how we can, inject the police and civil defense to be able to, restore public safety and order within those secured areas, so that the military, when they move forward, such areas are not left vacant, and people will be able to move back into those areas to begin, continue their normal lives.
Okay, taking you up on resettlement for these displaced persons, is there a time frame for resettling these IDPs?
Well, you know that, it's an all-government approach to this whole effort. It's all-government approach, which requires a comprehensive or holistic strategy. The first part of it is winning the war, which I've just mentioned to you. And that is why I toured the area, because the military has won the war. The next major phase is winning the peace. And that is why we were there. We're there for winning the peace. But like I say, it's comprehensive or holistic strategy it requires. Now, after winning the war, which involve the degrading and dismantling the structures of the insurgents, there is also the aspect of disarming. There is also the aspect of de-radicalization, but which, some of these things do overlap. But winning the peace also would involve the idea of reconstruction. Even for us in the services, the police, the civil defense, Some of those structures have been destroyed by the insurgents. Even to move them in, we have to start with temporary structures where they can, have their bases to operate. So you need to reconstruct. So it's a major area. You need to reconstruct communities whose homes have been totally destroyed, schools, worship centers, churches and mosques, hospitals and clinics. So it's a major area. Then there is also the aspect of rehabilitation. You rehabilitate the victims, and now the victims, it's widespread spectrum of victims. You have to, look at these various categories of victims, then be able to see how you can deal with that. Because even among those who you may find, within the enclave of Boko Haram, some of them are also victims. There are those who are children, forced into it. There are women who are forced into it. Some of them have their parents slaughtered before, right in front of them, and they are forced into it. So there are all categories of victims. So you need to rehabilitate people who, experience trauma. So that is another aspect. You need to integrate them into the communities, reintegrate the society, the communities. Also, you need to reconcile. Reconciliation is very necessary in this aspect, because even among those who you consider as victims, yes, women who have been raped, women who bore children from Boko Haram but now are free, sometimes it's difficult for them to get back into their communities, even though they are victims. So you need to have special program to do that. So it's a whole range of issues. Now, even between Christian community, Muslims communities, you need reconciliation, because somebody from a Christian community may think that, Boko Haram is a representation of Muslims, which is not the case. So you need to reconcile, to explain to them, so that now they live, in harmony. So there's quite a lot to be done.
In other words, there's really no time frame for all this to be done?
No. Not that there is no time frame, but what I'm telling you is this can be phased out. It's not something that you have to finish everything before you start. No. It's phased out. Communities, for instance, that, you just mentioned Goza, Bama, those are communities that, you don't wait until, you do. I'm just telling you what comprehensive strategy or holistic strategy entails, rather. But you don't need to wait until you do all that before you resettle. No. You cannot wait. But that's why I said these things do overlap. While you are resettling, you are reconstructing, you are reconciling, you are integrating. So you don't wait until you finish one before you go to another.
Now, listening to all these processes you've just explained out to me, it also takes my mind to a recent tour by the United Nations Human Rights Commission of these communities. And then one of the points they made following that tour was that there is presently not enough resources to do this series of rehabilitation and reconciliation and peace winning that you have just mentioned. What's your take on that, about not the federal government not giving enough resources to that process?
I believe that this is not only a Nigerian issue, it's not even only a regional issue. is an international issue. The issue of refugees is an international issue. The issue of IDPs is an international issue. The issue of post-conflict peace building is an international issue. So I see a situation whereby this issue is not just left to Nigeria. Don't forget the fact that there are other, non-governmental organizations that participate in this from other countries, the European Union. There are donors that would be involved. Even within the country, there are, individuals and organizations that contribute towards this effort. Not long ago, there was this effort, for the victims, which General T.Y. Njuba chaired, this victim support. Quite a number of people and organizations contributed towards that. So the issue of resources, at a go, there's resources, you can't have all the resources you need to do everything. Certainly, that is not realistic. But as we go along, I'm sure, and we, catch up in most of the areas, resources will keep on coming. And it's not something that can be done in one day. This is a destruction that took place for quite some time, about 6 years. So I'm not sure if this can be, dealt with in one day, no. But it can be phased out as resources are coming in, they are being poured into those areas.
We will go on a short break now, and when we return, we will tell you more about the post-insurgency plans for the northeast of Nigeria.
Our people have suffered very seriously. Women and children are suffering, left without father, without husband. No business activities, no schooling, no market, nothing. In Borno, we have 27 local governments. In fact, most of the people, most of the local government are stationed right now in Maiduguri, including the emirs.